Holy moly, where you been? Everybody doing all right? Welcome back to Equity.Guru for an investor roundtable. I'm Rob down here. That's Galen over there. There was a little holiday in Canada, and people are just kind of drifting around for a while. You all good over there?
Survive the heat wave.
Michelle in the gold vault, and Frozen Man in the far corner. I bet you he's going to cough up some money today. We're talking about Versus. That's with an E, or actually two E's. VERSES is how you spell the company, Versus Technologies Inc. And it's on the NEO exchange in Canada. VERS is the symbol. And they're located in New Westminster, British Columbia for Canadian listing purposes, and also in the Los Angeles area. And they also have an office in Europe. That's because they're everywhere and they do everything, and it's crazy. And Galen's going to explain just how cool that it is.
Okay, well, Versus actually started in Los Angeles in 2018, led by a group of individuals who have decades of experience in virtual and augmented reality, the Internet of Things, telecom, global sales, the gamut. And these are the guys that write the white papers on the stuff. They're the pocket protecting crowd that will save this world with technology. And there's nothing wrong with that. I think my admiration is well towards them. We're in a world now that's overrun with information. We found an ability to gather all of this data from sensors all over the place and pool it into little places. But it's always been something that's separate. And we never have been able to harness it really well to sort of make a connection between what we would like to call the phygital world, meaning connecting our digital world with our physical world. Versus has done just that. Yeah, they put together something called COSM, which is basically a contextually computed operating system. It's an operating system for AI. And what they've been able to do on top of this is create their own software right now. This is how I'm going to explain this, to create a better world for the supply chain, I guess you could say, or real world for, let's say, business applications like, let's say, warehouse picking. This software is called Wayfinder. Basically what it is this company has built a 3D model of this warehouse that they work in. And what happens is all the items within the warehouse are contained within this model. And so warehouse pickers can use this data and be actively guided by an AI system to have the optimum route to wherever they need to pick and get their stuff out to the world. Now, this can happen in real time and also guiding them around the other individuals in the warehouse that are trying to get to their things and the drones that are running around grabbing their stuff to make sure that they have optimized their performance by 30 to 40%. This is actually a pretty big thing, considering that most of our world is done through big box outlets. So like Amazon and all these other guys are all running around in a warehouse, grabbing something, throwing it into a box and trying to get it out to you. So a productivity increase of 30 to 40% is pretty major. Now, Versus has done a big deal with NRI, which is a leading North American distributor, a company that has warehouses all over the North America and deliver products to different people. They do white labeling, all that kind of lovely stuff. It's a pretty big deal. And they've been doing a pilot program for this company for a while and now have just recently announced that they've expanded their services. This is turning into a profit machine at this point. Now, they've also managed to tag along to a company called, just recently they've announced this, called Tompkins Ventures. And Tompkins Ventures is like one of the biggest sort of marrying forces between people that do logistics and people that provide logistics management solutions. And so Tompkins has actually said, you guys are doing the best thing ever. We want to get you in so you can start working with these other companies. Now, the deal flow that's going to be coming through for this company is going to be pretty insane, which basically, means that the price they're at now, they've gone up more than double since they've IPO'd. They're currently trading at $1.02.
Yeah.
The potential is endless in this. These guys are a formative member of what is going to become the new reality for digital information and how it's dealt with in the physical world. If you want to really make it basic, they are going to probably become what Google was with Android to the smartphone world, what these guys will be to the AI world with their COSM interface, which they plan to release in 2023. So we're going to see an amazing expansion of this guy's potential.
And I'm expecting more press releases from now till 2023, and there's already been a good amount of good news coming out from the company.
Yeah,
Absolutely.
and the folks can check out interviews with Gabriel Rene, the CEO and such, on the site, of course, today and around us. It's pretty cool stuff, and a nice write-up from Vishal. But right now, you're talking tech, you're talking charts.
For sure, Rob. And yeah, this is just one of those companies. I think it's probably one of the hottest, if not the hottest, Canadian tech IPO due to the price action of the stock. Yes, there was, that bit of a drop here, but IPOs, that's what happens, right? Early investors tend to want to take their profits. You can't blame them. It's just something they do. And we fell below, hitting lows at around 38 cents. I mean, really, it's 38 and a half. That's the actual low for the stock. But I've drawn a support level here at 38 cents. And if you guys recall, I've said that IPOs are something that I don't really like to participate in right away, just because not enough price action for me. And, we tend to see volatility in the first few days. I like to sort of sit back, give a few days or weeks of, preferably weeks to months, not days, but weeks to months of, price action to develop. That way, as a technical trader, I have some levels that I can work with. And I guess, I'm using these levels as a way to determine when people are going to take profits and when's the best way to enter for a long-term hold, just because I would like to, get shares maybe on the dip and whatnot. But, long-term is definitely the game for this stock. As Galen has said, 2023 is going to be a big year for Versus, but I do believe 2022 is also going to be a big year for the company. And it's already, we can say it's already a big year, just given what's happened with the IPO and also the performance from the stock. So yes, we did hit lows of 38 cents. And since then, if I bring out my handy dandy calculator here, from those lows to recent highs at around $1.10, this stock has gone up around 189% from July 4th to August. Well, we're recording this on August 2nd, so quite the performance there for the stock. And as I said, I think it is definitely one of the hottest IPOs on the Canadian tech markets, if not the hottest IPO. A couple of other levels here that I have marked out, 70 cents, and I have 70 cents marked out because this is the first time we began to develop some sort of range. Obviously, you can see we broke above it, but I just have 70 cents marked because maybe in the future, if we do pull back, I would be looking at this level to be supportive or seeing a wall of buyers to step in here. But let's look at the recent price action because I think this is quite important. And, the stock Versus did take out the very important $1 level. $1, very important psychological zone. And since then, we hit highs at around $1.10. But, sellers have been stepping in. I think it's fair to say that with 189 or 87% move, people are going to be taking profits, especially when you're at around $1, because I think that's a level that a lot of people sort of use as their target. So since then, we've just begun to range here in the last few days. And to me, this could be a sign of, buying exhaustion, right? Perhaps there's just people trying to take profits here at around $1. But really what will make this move now is, do we break above $1.05, which the stock has tried to break above 3 times, but has failed to get a close above $1.05? Or do we close here below 98 cents, back below $1 and see a bit of a pullback, which I think would be getting some people excited because it's a good way to get into this stock at a lower price. So I think some people might use that as a great opportunity to enter new positions. I certainly am, personally, to get in a bit earlier, to get in, at a lower price here. But that's what's happening right now. We're seeing this range here. The stock is at $1, but we just can't sustain that momentum higher. So I'm thinking there could be some exhaustion here where people are taking profits, and we could see a bit of a retracement, just a brief retracement, right? Obviously, long term, This is probably going to continue higher with all the good news coming out from the company. The last thing I want to highlight here is the volume, because I know a lot of people think, hey, NEO Exchange, maybe the volume is thin, but take a look at the volume profiles here. We're always over six figures in the amount of shares traded. There's only been maybe 2 days where we're at 54,000 and 50,000, but other than that, I mean, look at these numbers, guys. There's like days where we're well above 200,000 shares, but majority of the days, we're above 100,000. So a lot of volume. This stock is not thinly traded, which is great for people who want to enter positions, because I think volume is something that's important for people, especially if they're holding long-term positions on the NEO exchange.
By the way, we will mention Versus is a recent client of Equity.Guru. In fact, we'd love to take all of the credit or some of the credit for the woohoo
Epic move, yeah.
We won't do that. But they did join us not long before the IPO, if I do recall correctly. And again, you can check out Gabriel Day, kind of more of an informative, basic conversation with Jody Vance, first glance with Jody Vance on our site, and then also the gauntlet with Chris Perry, getting a little deeper into the things that Versus is up to. So really cool stuff. That said, Mr. Galen, you get to go first. You have 7,500 hypothetical dollars to spend if you'd like to today.
Absolutely. I'm going to make this very short and sweet. All right. This company has lots of potential. Basically, it starts off putting the world together for the supply chain management. Phenomenal breakthroughs in technology in terms of bringing the AI together and allowing optimization to take place. And the deal flow is going to be crazy coming into the next year as far as I'm concerned. So I'm dropping the whole bag. I'm going for 20 or 7,500 right now.
Whee! All right, we know Frozen Man in the corner. We'll definitely go.
Yeah, he's already dropped it. Didn't even need to say it.
He's already dropped it. Don't even need to say it. Which leaves us to whether or not we'll hear the big bell to Vishal.
You will, Rob, but I'm going to be a bit more strategic. I'm going to throw in about 3,000 right now, and then I'm going to hold the rest just because I think there could be a bit of a pullback, which will allow me to put the rest of my money into Versus if we drop a little bit below $1. But I want to get 3,000 in now because just because we have a range, it doesn't necessarily mean we're going to fall. So at least I'll have some skin in the game, and maybe alternatively I'll be buying the breakout above $1.05, a bit higher than I wanted, but that's the way I'm going to play it with this range here. So 3,000 now, and then the rest depending on the break of this range here.
You fooled me, and I believe it's the dreaded premature bellation. What I just pulled off right there. Rang the bell a little early. But it's all right, because you're going to drop it all eventually. It's only a matter of time. We have this funny feeling. Now, are you talking about like you'll wait 3 days, you'll wait a week, you'll just wait for that number to hit, right?
Either if we close below 98 cents or close above $1.05, that will let me know which way the stock is going to go. And obviously, I would like it as an investor if it drops a bit lower so I can get in. But if it does get in above, or if it does break above $1.05, that range is now broken, which technically means a breakout, and I'll be buying more on that break.
Very nice. There you go, folks. It's interesting stuff. It's Versus. The company, again, is VERSES, because you get to confuse there's the US thing out there. But it's the symbol VERS on the NEO exchange. Gabriel Rene is the very smart man in charge. He's had some fascinating conversations, as you guys know. So check those out. Check out the stock. Don't take our advice as gold, even though Vishal's sitting in a gold vault, because we can't guarantee anything. Past performance does not guarantee future results. That includes everything that's gone on since the IPO. But do a little research. Check it out, because VERS on the NEO is pretty cool stuff. And we'll see you on the very, very next Equity Guru Investor Roundtable.